of a dream view. It can look like going into the work, it can look like staying at home, it can look like any combination. And in that, what I want to be able to discuss is the fact that sometimes as working moms of faith, sometimes there's like this little bit of a divide. So let's say we have like a working mom, and she knows she's called into industry. She knows she's called to be like a high function mama. She knows that she's called into the position that she's in to be a leader in her organization and a leader in her household, along with her husband. Like, she knows that sometimes what we find when we're in that space as working moms is that we feel disconnected from the gals that are stay-at-home friends, and we feel like there's almost like this undercurrent of when we go out into the workforce, we're doing like a less godly thing than those that are staying home, and somehow there's this it's almost like this unwritten conversation, like we can't be intentional moms, we can't be, you know, have great relationship with our husbands and that kind of stuff. And so I just want to kind of break that down a little bit more today and just encourage those of you that are called into the workforce to keep going, because that's the God size, that might be part of that God size idea that's inside of you. The other side of the coin is the ladies that are called to be at home, and that's amazing, but also know when I've been in those scenes in my life, that's like the situation where somehow we feel like we're not doing enough. Somehow we feel like we're supposed to be doing more. Somehow we feel like just raising our own kids faithfully or homeschooling or being intentional, somehow that is not good enough for society as a whole. And then those moms feel in the season times or the whole time they're raising their kids of stay at home. And so I just want to bring those two groups together and then just gap that can exist between those two groups of moms inside of the church. And I just want to say each side is feeling the same thing, but in different ways. They're feeling isolated, and it's time for us to come together, ladies. It's time for us to be each other's best cheerleaders. That if you're called into industry, honey, go for it. You are amazing. Go and be that leader in industry that God has designed you to be. And if you're called to be at home with your kids full time, honey, go for it. You are designed to do that in that season and be the best mom. And as you clean toilets and do laundry, like do that, right? The word says do that unto Christ, as if you're doing it for him. But more than anything, just know that as we're called into these different areas or anywhere in between, it's a good thing to really kind of go through the process of, if you're not really sure, it's a good thing to go through of, this is what I've noticed, of kind of breaking it down into like 3 little steps. Number one is go and ask God and see what he's asking you to do. Because don't we know as working women of faith, if that's where we are, or business owners, entrepreneurs, or stay-at-home moms, or any of those labels that we use, don't we know that it's most important that we check in with God, see what he says, and see where he's calling. Second most important thing that I will say, and I have found to be super fruitful for me, is I go run it by my husband, because really he and I are a team. Like, he's my best friend, he's the love of my life. Like, I trust his wisdom when I say, hey babe, I got this great idea, what do you think about this? He has just an uncanny ability to look at a situation and real quickly say, yes, Anita, go for it, that's a great idea, that's what God's calling you and us as a family to, or no, I don't think that's a good idea, babe. And then we talk about it. And I've really learned to lean on his wisdom in the years that we've been, to trust that that's actually God speaking through him as well. And then the third part of it is I just got to go. If God has called me to build a business, if God has called me to be in industry, if God has called me to be at home, he's called me of those different seasons, sometimes multiple ones at the same time. My job is to be obedient. So if that's you and you want to work and wanting to raise and God's idea for a business inside of them, I want to invite you to join our community of women coming together. We're meeting up on September 21st. I'm doing a training. It's offered at either 12 Central or 7 Central. You can choose either one of those times. But on September 21st, we're going to talk about the 3 secrets that it takes to be able to build the business of your dreams. And in that, you're going to have an opportunity to meet other Christian working moms, other working moms of faith that have that God-sized idea to build a business inside them. And we'll get to know one another a little bit better. So if that's you, I want to encourage you, use the link that's running across the bottom of the screen to be able to register for the event. You do need to register ahead of time, and I look forward to seeing you.